ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। After helping Sage Vishwamitra ji in destroying the impact of the demons, Vishwamitra ji says, let's go for a different venue now. Little did Rama and Lakshman ji know that the match was already fixed. And Vishwamitra ji had sent a special information to Janak ji that he is coming with 2 young warriors of the Raghu Vamsha. They were received well. A subplot while they were settling down, with the permission of the Guru, when Ramji wanted to get some flowers early in the morning for their worship, there he chanced to see Sita ji, and Sita ji also had a chance to see him, and it was like 2 parts of the same piece. And she felt that she found her one, and Ramji, Lord Narayana and Lakshmi Devi in that form, and they exchanged glances. It was in a garden with fountains and everything. The environment was early morning, so the lighting was also perfect. So the friends that were there around Sitaji, they had already voiced saying that I think we found the match. And in the evening, he chanced to go around. The earlier evening, he had gotten chance to go around the Mithila Nagari. They were already talking about these two young warriors. So they said, "Oh, this must be those two." My grandmother was saying, my aunt was saying, my uncle in the shop was saying. And the Rangamancha, the event place, it was specially built for this particular purpose. Tens and thousands of kings had arrived. The opportunity was, opened for everyone, and all the kings one by one came with lot of hope, lot of valor, only to fail in their own eyes. And then disappointed Janak Maharaj, he makes a statement. 251st Doha. Am I right? Yours also Kannada? कुंवरी मनोहर विजय बड़ी कीरति अति कमनीय पावनिहार बिरंचि जनु रचेउ न धनु दमनीय. First, Lord Janaka, he starts muttering to himself, and then it starts becoming louder. And what is he saying to himself? Now imagine, here is a father who has a beautiful daughter, amazingly capable daughter, and he has set the bar so high for the competition that tens and thousands of them have failed in front of him. There is a little disappointment, a little fear, and little desperateness. So when somebody is afraid, somebody is uh, despondent, they do not have any reserved nature. It, things just blurt out. And what did he say? There is this beautiful girl, Kuvari Manohara. The triumph, if they win, is so amazing that the name and fame that they'll make is huge. Because in front of, I mean, it was just a side event somewhere inside, nobody knew. It's a different issue. Here, everyone from across all the different players, all the different kings, all the different princes, everyone was present. So you win here, your name and fame, overnight, everyone will know. You will be the new Twitter handle. You will go viral in today's language. Vijaya Badi. Kirati. Kirati, the fame. These are the prize. And nobody can match this kind of prize. Such a beautiful venue has been created. But I think Brahmaji, Biranchi, he is not yet created a man who is worthy enough of breaking this bow. Tying the bow and breaking it, he has not created a man worthy enough. And he is Sometimes it happens, right? When you are thinking to yourself, you say things out loud only to realize, oops, I said it out loud. Sorry. So everybody looked at him, and then he realizes that, oh, I said it out loud. And by then, there was no lajja now that, people will think or people will hear. He said, anyway, I have already said it. Why not complete it? Because he was disappointed, truly. So he continues. कहु कहायहु लाभ न भावा, काहु न शंकर चाप चढ़ावा, रहु चढ़ाऊ बतौरब भाई, तिल भर भूमि न सके चढ़ाई, अब जनिको माखे भट मानी, वीर विहीन मही मैं जानी. Now he is really lashing it out. What did he say? वीर विहीन मही मैं जानी. Mahi is Bhumi, earth. Sometimes when we don't say the things as they have to be said, the meaning can be quite a variant. Between Mahi and Mahi, Hrasva and Dirgha, it's a world of difference. Mahipati means the king. Mahipati means the owner of buffaloes. Remember Mahishasura? He was in a buffalo form. He was not Mahishasura. Sometimes while singing Mahishasura Mardini Stotra, we hear singers saying, Mahishasura Mardini. No, he was not Mahishasura. He was Mahishasura. And here it has to be pronounced as Mahipati. On this earth, there is not a single warrior left. It's a bold statement to make. When tens and thousands of kings are there, they could revolt, they could attack, they could do something stupid. But he didn't care. He just said, I am prepared. If you cannot pick my Dhanush, then you are not worthy enough as an opponent for me. And he lashes out. Kahu kahi yahu. He says, tell me in this world, in a sane sense, who will not aim for such a prize? My daughter, then the instant fame, and everybody talking about such people, and everyone is here, everybody will notice you, and still nobody to pick this, string this bow, let alone stringing this bow. Tilu bhari, bhumi na sake charai. This is, even with the space of a sesame seed, tilu. Like if you put the sesame seed, that distance, nobody has moved it even, let alone picking it up and stringing it. What kind of a spineless people are here? Ayayayyo. वीर विहीन मही मैं जानी. Then he continues. तजहु आस निज निज गृह जाहु, लिखा न विधि वैदेहि विबाहु, सुकृत जाई जो पुनु परिहरऊं, कुंवारी कुंवारी रहु का करऊं, जो जनते बिनत भुवि भाई, तो पन करी हो तेउ न हसाई, जनक बचन सुनि सब नर नारी, देखि जानकी भये दुखारी। माखे लखन कुटिल भई भोहे, रदपट फरकत नयन रिसोहे। And he says, enough is enough now. Everybody sitting here, go to your homes. Enough. Come on. There is not a single Veera here. What kind of earth it has become? Probably it is not stated here. And when I was young, this earth was written with so many heroes. What has the generation come to? Not a single warrior worth their name. Enough now. Go, go, everyone, go now. Chodo, jao. Go to your home. Tajahu as nija nija griha jau. There is no hope here. It is a hopeless thing. Go back to your homes. And talking about my daughter, probably there is not a single warrior who Brahmaji thought was suitable enough for my daughter. She came in as a unwed. After this event, she'll go back as an unwed. That is our prarabdha. We'll deal with it. You go home. Must have been really frustrated. Whenever our sukruta, whenever our punya phala comes, we will find the match. I thought it was the right age for my daughter to get married, but seems like whenever now, somebody must have been created. Now, whenever that fellow is ready, my daughter will get worried. Don't bother about us. Go home now. जनक वचन सुनी सब सभा सब नारी, देखी जानकी बहे दुखहारी. And as they heard these harsh words, the people who were sitting there, they all looked with such sympathy towards सीता जी. बेचारी, अब कौन शादी करेगा इससे? One attempt failed. And to talk of, she has everything. And some people were also of the opinion that this Janaka unnecessarily kept this kind of competition, ruining such a beautiful girl's fortune. Simple thing, he could have, called the suitable boy whom he thought or she thought and then get them married and it would have been fine. Now he creates this out of his own vanity and now look what happened. Such beautiful Sita ji, such beautiful girl will have to now sit unwed in this palace. There are lots of comments, going around here and there. And human psychology is everybody has an opinion and everybody's opinion is greater than the other one. Especially in such situations where you have nothing to lose. And they were blaming Sita ji's good fortune. They were blaming Janak ji for organizing this. But all in all, they were feeling sad for Sita ji. You could see it in their eyes. Probably some of the women also had tears in their eyes, thinking of all the probabilities that could have happened if Sita ji is not getting married. The Indian stigma. अब कौन शादी करेगा इससे? Who will marry this beautiful girl now? No, it is a failed attempt. As these statements were being made, Lakshman ji could not take it. Radapat Pharakat. He glanced at Janaka with such sharp, glance, or not even a glance, it was a glare. How dare you? Shame on you, Janaka. How dare you? We are still sitting here. हम यहाँ बैठे हैं. The royal. And the beauty of Lakshman ji's reaction, though he is always portrayed as the angry one, he is usually not angry at a personal level. His discomforts, he's never angry about. He's never frustrated or irritated about. In fact, when they are in the Vanavasa, it is seen that Lakshmanji is the one who probably never slept. And he was the one who was constantly running around taking care of all the requirements to make sure that his brother and Sitaji were in the most comfortable situation. Anything insulting Ramji, anything discomforting Ramji, anything challenging Ramji, the first one to react. And when I say react, it is no less than a volcano, was Lakshmanji. Personally, any discomfort, he would just gulp it down and not have a single word voiced. And why was he irritated here? It was not as if his ego was hurt. Yes, his ego was hurt, but it was not at a personal account. His ego was hurt because Ramji is sitting here and he talks such nonsense in front of Rama. We have not even attempted one. How could you make such a statement that this earth is devoid of heroes and warriors? हम यहाँ से बैठे हुए हैं, समझ क्या रखा है? And he gets very agitated. But he cannot voice it because there are two layers of firewall. Literally, there these walls could contain this fire inside him. One was Ramji, and the other one was Vishwamitra ji. Now, in his anger, he is looking at both of them and looking at Janaka, and he must have been turning red. White turning red is easy. Black turning red, you don't see. The rest of the colors are for those who are white. They turn blue, they turn green, they turn red. I'm not talking of traffic signal here. They say, right? Green with envy. If they get tightly hit or and the blood clots, they become blue. Black, it is a permanent color. No variation, no changes. Probably this Lakshmana was getting red and he could not control it any further. So what happened? कही न सकत रघुबीर डर लगे बचन जनुबाण नाई राम पद कमल सिर बोले गिरा प्रमाण. He got up. Enough is enough. He was afraid that Ramji may not approve of his sudden outburst. Sometimes you may not be qualified to show your displeasure there. Sometimes you have to just swallow it and move on. But this was too much of an insult for Ramji's presence there. So he gets up and walks straight to Rama and he prostrates to Ramchandraji's feet. He doesn't say what he is planning to do, but he prostrates, taking his blessings. Because sometimes it is easier to seek forgiveness than seek permission. So he doesn't say what he's having in his mind, though Ramji knew what exactly was disturbing Lakshmana. So, taking his blessings, this Lakshmana jumps into action. And he said words that were uh, befittingly harsh. रघुवंश ही मह जहाँ को होई तेहि समाज अस कहई न कोई कहीं जनक जसी अनुचित बाणी विद्यमान रघुकुल मणि जानी रघुवंश महु जहाँ को होई. When there is somebody who is belonging to Raghuvamsha sitting here, tehi samaj as kahi na koi. Nobody dare say such cheap things when somebody from Raghuvamsha is sitting. Now, where do you think Bollywood got all its dialogues? From Mahabharata and Ramayana. If there was a script writer, they would have picked it up right from here. क्या समझ रखा है हमने? चूड़ियां पहन रखी है? What do you think that and that too when a Raghuvamshi is sitting right next to you, you make such statements. Kahi Janaka jasi anuchita vani. It is not proper of you, hey Janaka, to make such comment. Why? Vidyamana Raghukula Mani Jani. The best of the Raghukulas are sitting right here. It does not befit you and your status to make such statement. And then he says, Sunahu bhanukula pankaj bhanu kahu subhavana kachu abhimanu जो तुम्हारी अनुशासन पावो कंदुक इव ब्रह्मांड उठाओ. सुनहु भानुकुल पंकज भानु. Hey Bhanu of the Bhanukula. See, Ramji was belonging to Surya Vamsha. And Sita ji was belonging to Chandra Vamsha. So there are certain lotuses that bloom with the sun's rise. There is one Neela Kamala that blooms with the moonlight. They're saying the best of the lotuses, O daughter of Janaka, listen. You don't need to worry. As long as we are here seated in this sabha, you have no cause for any kind of worry. Hum hai na? And he says, I am not making this statement out of arrogance. This is not a egotistical statement. I can definitely. And what can you do? He says, Brahmanda kanduka iva uthau. That I can pick this entire Brahmanda as if it was my plaything, as if it was a ball. Now, who is Lakshmana? Seshanaga, Ananta. And where is this Brahmanda? It is on his head. He's been carrying it. I was born for this duty only. I can even pick the entire Brahmanda. Ramji's eyes must have widened. Hey, don't reveal yourself right now. That is not the purpose here. That is not the case and study here. Ramji must have. Because it is his natural thing to do, is pick the entire Brahmanda up. What are you talking about picking this bow? I can pick the entire Brahmanda as if it was my plaything. And then he says, काचे घट जिमि डारऊ फोरी सकऊ मेर मूलक जिमि तोरी तव प्रताप महिमा भगवाना को बापुरो पिनाक पुराणा काचे घट जिमि डारऊ फोरी. See, when the pot is well made and well baked, to break it may take a little effort. But kacha kada, a pot which is just being molded, you don't need to put a lot of effort. One little push, entire thing collapses. I can break. He's talking still of Brahmanda. That the entire Brahmanda as if it was a raw pot. Kache ghad jimi. And he says, you know the Meru Parvat? I can break it like as if it was a muli, radish. और तुम पूछते हो किस खेत के मूली है हम? I can break the Meru as if it was just muli, radish. You don't know our prowess. And what is this Shiva Dhanusha Purana? When I can break the Brahmanda as if it was the raw pot. This old Shiva Dhanusha, what is it? Is it even a challenge? Let me remind, he has not touched it, he has not assessed it, and tens and thousands of them have failed right in front of him, not even able to move the distance that it would be the size of a sesame seed. And yet he has this audacity to brag, saying that, and this I'm not talking about myself. My Ramji who is sitting here, if I am capable of doing this, imagine what he can do. मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं उनके सामने. I am nothing. And you dare utter such words? And that too for this old rotten the Shiva Dhanusha which has been sitting there for ages? Ko Bapuro Pinaka Purana. What is this Shiva Dhanush? Yeah, it can be broken. It can be. And then he says, नाथ जानी असि आयसु हो कौतुक करौ बिलो किया सो कमल नाल जिमि चाप चढ़ाव जो जन सत प्रमाण ले धावो. This is stringing this bow, a big deal. I can pick it up as if it was the stalk of the lotus. Now, stalk of the lotus is very flimsy, very delicate. That you try pulling it, it snaps. And it is anyway old. I pull it really hard, it will break. The string will come apart. And you talk of this Dhanusha, I can pick it with my pinky and run 100 miles. Sata Jojana. 100 yojanas without taking a break or rest. Is that even a competition? And then he's not yet finished. He continues further and he says, तोरौ छत्रक दंड जिमी तव प्रताप बलनाथ जो न करो प्रभु पद सपथ करण धरौ धन भाथ. छत्र का दंड. छत्र का दंड is chhatra, like an umbrella. Danda is on a stalk. And he is talking about a mushroom. Have you ever plucked a wild mushroom? A little snap with your toe and it just crumbles. Chhatra ka danda, Jimmy. Your Shiva Dhanusha that you pride, it is no more than a mushroom. One thing on the side note that you should remember, that in those days they were not living in some wilderness as it is portrayed by the Western scholars. That all these vegetation, sometimes they even say that the horses came in from the Arabian side. And we also shake our heads thinking maybe it must have. Ashwamedha Yaga, which is mentioned in the Rig Veda, it is way before even the Arabians could have had any opportunity to wear clothes. It, it is a fact. And if he is mentioning of the Chhatraka Danda, the mushroom, it must have been known, used, and knowing its quality that you pull it up and it crumbles effortlessly. And he is comparing the Shiva Dhanusha. And poor Shivji must be sitting there saying, Lakshmana, stop, man. For God's sake, it is my Dhanusha. You may have anger towards Janaka, but don't take it out on my Dhanusha. Parashuram actually gets angry because of that. We'll come to that part later. पहले शादी तो हो जाए. And you challenge, you know, us, oh Janaka, this can be snatched and snapped like a mushroom. जो न करो प्रभुपद सपथ करण धरऊ धनु भात. If I am not able to do all that which I have just claimed, I promise that I would never touch a bow and arrow ever in my life. And that's huge, bold words. Audacity of Lakshmana. And all that to say that if I can do all this, my Lord can do much more than all this. So watch your words when you're saying it in such an august presence. And it is kind of cute. The kind of love, the kind of respect he has for Ramji, that even a passing statement, which was not intended towards, just because they were present and such statement was made, he took it too seriously and he lashed out back at Janaka. Now, what happened after that? लखन सकोप बचन जय बोले डगमगानी मही दिग्गज ढोले सकल लोग सब भूप डराने सियहि हर्ष जनक सखुचाने गुरु रघुपति सब मुनि मन माही मुदित भये पुनि पुनि पुलकाहि शयन ही रघुपति लखन निवारे प्रेम समेत निकट बैठारे. लखन सकोप बचन जय बोले. As soon as Lakshmanji finished his statement, it had a certain impact on various people sitting there. What was the impact? Dagamagani mahi diggaja dole. The entire sabha that was seated suddenly had shivers. All the elephants that were there, even they got impacted with that ferocious words. They almost snapped their chains out and started swaying. Like, yes, there is somebody really, vibrant here. Sakala loka sab bhoop derane. All the kings and the people sitting there, they were like little scared. Man, he's talking of picking up this entire globe and tossing it aside. I mean, he seems like very serious. He can do it. Bapre, if he does it, what happens to us all? They were scared a little bit. Siyahi harash Janak sakuchane. And one person who had smile ear to ear was Sita ji. देवर जी अब हुई ना कुछ बात. Now you're talking. Like, I never questioned, I never doubted it. I knew your brother could accomplish it. And thanks that you just did come out and say it out loud. She was happy. And Janaka, he was like, look at the others. They're taller than you, bulkier than you. They could not pick it up. What are you talking? He had his own doubts. Sakuchani. Guru Raghupati Saba Muni Mana Mahi Mudita Bhaye Puni Puni Pulakahi. The Guru Jana, all the Muni and Ramji, they were like their hair was standing on end out of joy. Like, wow, Lakshmanji. And just to make sure that this doesn't escalate further, if you know someone for a while, especially in a family, you can communicate without uttering words. Just the glance, how you see it, what you convey. There's so much that can be conveyed without even uttering a word. And Ramji looked at Lakshmana and then he said, आजा आजा बहुत हो गया अब आजा. Come back, enough. If you're not subtle observant person, you may not have caught the glance just with the eyeballs rolling. Uh, Aja. I'm proud of you, but come now, enough. Sit. Thanks for standing up for the entire Raghukula on my behalf. But now, bas, ab baith ja. Prema samet nikat baithare. With lot of love, he just pulled him closer and made him sit next to him. What happened? Suddenly, this scenario changes. विश्वामित्र समय प्रभु जानी बोले अति स्नेहमय बानी उठहु राम भंजहु भव छापा ने सुनि गुरु वचन चरण सिरुनावा हर्ष विषाद न कछुर आवा ठाड़े बैठी सहज सुभाए ठवनि जुबा मृगराज लजाए. Vishwamitra, he was waiting for the right muhurta. He did not want Ramji to go a second before or a second late. And as he saw the sun's position and the stars aligning and everything falling in place, so Vishwamitra ji looked at Ramji and said, Bole ati snehamaya bani, with a lot of endearing words. He said, Uthau Ram, Bhanjahu Bhava Chapa. Now get up and get this Shiva Dhanusha to its terms. Accomplish that which we have come for. And Ramji like, अच्छा इसके लिए आए थे? बोलना था ना यार, कुछ प्रिपरेशन करके आता मैं. Makeup, shake-up. Oh, I was meant for this. Okay. You didn't even tell me a word. And it is not like, you know, today's world wherein if somebody elderly says something and the younger generation, you go figure it. I am not moving from here. Now, as soon as the instruction was given, Suni Guru Bachan Charana Siru Nava. Your orders and it is my command. Your words are my command. So he prostrated to his Guru without any, anxiety or, anger. No, with a very equipoised mind. Guru has ordered, I will be able to accomplish it. So he got up. And the stride with which he got up. Murugaraj, Juba Mugaraj, Laja. Even the young lion would feel quite incompetent in front of such Ramchandraji. I mean, you could see that finesse, that charm as he stood up and walked towards the Dhanusha. And that we will see next week. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.